Hello everyone, it's December the 19th and we are at a super interesting point in history, I guess. It's pretty obvious. The doors are closing, the walls are caving in on all sides, and now let's find the escape routes. Let's find the circumvention of that whole structure. Just trying to cave us in and to limit us in all ways. So we are getting intelligent. The intelligence level of humanity is hyperbolically rising right now. That's definitely a way to see it. Now, yesterday was the alignment of the Sun with the galactic center. That is the hub of our Milky Way. Of all the stars we see in the night sky, they are circling around the galactic center at 27 degrees and 9 minutes right now, and this is moving depending on the precession of the equinoxes every 72 years 1 degree forward. So in roughly 200 years the galactic center will be exactly conjunct the winter solstice. So anyway, just to give you the relations here. So this is a super important moment of realigning with galactic frequencies. And this is, I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's our trajectory. It's very clear. That's where we're heading as a humanity. We're becoming galactic humans. So this chart, this moment is super important. Every year it kind of shows us an update, how far we have come on that journey. And this year it's amazing. It's just an amazing chart. Actually, I have talked about this chart before already. Still arranging myself here a little bit to get everything in place that I can use my keyboard. So what stood out immediately was the Greenwich, not just the ascendant but also the moon exactly on the ascendant. Now this in itself shows the moon is extremely powerful in this chart. The moon in mundane astrology, the very simple translation is the people, but also it is the unison of the people, and it is driven by emotions and by feelings and by what really binds us together. Also the care and the deep nurturing the moon has. As we know, the moon is the feminine goddess of the night who is ready to receive, to absorb and to reflect. That is the principle of the moon. So why am I so excited about this degree is that's exactly where on October the 22nd Venus passed behind the Sun on the far side from Earth. You have to imagine Venus is between Sun and Earth, and Venus is much faster than Earth, so at some point Venus gets to be behind the Sun from us, and that is when Venus disappears from the morning sky and then will reappear eventually in the evening sky as an evening star. So that was the birth of the Sun as an evening star. The second half of that Venus cycle was initiated, and you can go back to my earlier recordings. I have made at least one on that occasion. It was a day I had been looking forward already months prior, and it proved to be a major turning point energetically. It coincided, that moment, within hours or within a day or so. You see, this is 22nd October, which actually was the beginning of the yellow southern castle in the present 260-day count. The 52 days of expansion of the light, and sure, that's what we have seen. So this cycle is extremely congruent with the Mayan calendar's themes. More on that in a minute. So October the 22nd was a turning point, not just because of this superior conjunction Venus born as an evening star, which will take us all the way into August 2023, when this Venus again will be coming between Sun and Earth. In that sense, from Earth's perspective, Venus again disappears in the light of the Sun by then, but between Sun and Earth versus in this occasion here it was behind, so this is fundamentally different. So this will be then where we're again starting a new cycle, August 13, 2023. So this is the birth chart of Venus energy for pretty much 8 months or more, 10 months. And this moment when Venus was born as a social agent, that is really what the evening star phase is. It is showing a time of humanity coming closer together. I guess that's better. I'm still arranging myself here. A little bit unclear about my setting here. So here we go. So this is the degree of wisdom coming down to Earth, reincarnating and taking on its highest expression. The Sabian symbol is the wise man with the 3 mounts on its head, so showing really the coming together of Trinity, which is a beautiful symbol of the greatest unison of harmony there is. So this is all within reach. We're really in the final phase of integrating the base for a new humanity. That's what this chart looks like. So anyway, this, just in a nutshell, I mean, my interpretations are far from comprehensive, I would like to say that once. I'm really more of an investigator of showing the web, how different moments in time are locked in with each other, and that they build around a common denominator, a common theme, which is getting reinforced by these different aspects. So the Sun-Venus theme is at the very base of yesterday's alignment with the galactic center. That's kind of in a nutshell said. I mean, at the time I spoke about this here, the Black Moon Pallas conjunction at the ascendant. Pallas actually is one of those. Will make a special video on. Pallas is the understanding of the structures, of the patterns. It's a mental energy, and that is truly at the base of the awakening, the Great Awakening, because each and every single human being has to come to their own clues, see through the web of lies, and get to the bottom of it all. So this is kind of this disillusionment collectively we are going through in these next 8 months. Those of us who already know, they will be the way showers, the guides, the ones which will be able to answer questions. But we're in the middle of this already, and now we're gearing up. Now I keep being taken away here from my focus. So Sun-Venus superior conjunction, then we had the Sun-Haumea conjunction, just short after. You see this has an ascendant of 28 and the chart prior of 19. So even here more so, this last degrees of the cardinal sign are reinforced, are really re-emphasized, which is really the culmination of an idea to come to its most perfect integration of where to go next, of how to proceed through this. It's kind of the last degrees are really the high point of each sign. It's that energy being cultivated and refined through the last 29 degrees and now coming really to a culmination, harmony, balance, also the amalgamation of all the different human beings into one unity. That's kind of the theme Venus has as an evening star as such, and here it's definitely reinforced, Venus within her own sign. Anyway, I just want to quickly build the base here. Saturn turned direct just a day after. See, still a very close conjunction of Sun Venus when that happened, with the Moon again on the ascendant. I mean, nothing really fundamentally has changed, but we have become way more focused on this theme, on this trajectory. I guess that's what it is, with this galactic input of yesterday's, which totally strengthened and re-emphasizes that. Also that Haumea theme, Haumea being that rugby ball, American football kind of shaped minor planet farther out than Pluto, which spins around its long axis every 4 hours. So it's a very dynamic object, and has been named after fire goddess who created the archipelago of Hawaii. So there's this theme of rebirth, of reform, of rebellion against what is wrong and turn it all over. It's a powerful force of recreation, which is unpredictable in a way. This is now in Scorpio since November the 13th, all the way into April. This first wave, this first excursion, it will go back once more into Haumea. But this is feeding that lunar energy of, and amplifying through. It's getting tuned down to a biological level. So there's truly a nature renewing herself from deep within. And in this chart, naturally, there's all these tensions coming to a high point here in this Pluto Black Moon opposition, which was exact a few days ago. Pallas has just turned backwards, I guess a week ago or so, just scratching here this Mark II. So this in all, yes, this is the energy, as I said before already, of all the dark stuff coming to the surface and having to be digested and being absorbed and transmuted, transformed, healed, all happening all at once. It's actually the bringing to light, which already is the precursor of healing. It's the healing happens naturally after that. It is really the simple mechanism of cleaning a wound, taking all the dirt away, and then giving it the fresh air and the sunlight and the care. It will heal itself. That's the stage we are in. So let's go, just keep rolling here. I have a few charts here which go all the way into August 2023, show you the kind of that journey unfolding, which are all moments which will be in reference with that Venus cycle, which is really the big theme. Venus is just about becoming visible now. Naturally, if there's clear skies in your area, here it's not been likely. About 40 minutes after sunset, you will start Venus now standing out in the dusk, and every night it will climb a little bit higher. It will come to its full luminosity somewhere around March, April, May in 2023. So the glory of that energy is still to slowly evolve itself, so it's all still in its very beginning. So the synodic Mercury cycle, the next one, which starts on January the 7th, that is when Mercury will be exactly between Sun and Earth, and Mercury moves much faster. That happens every 4 months. So this initiates a new 4-month cycle, and here you have again the 29th, 28th, 29th, 30th degree of cardinal. This time T-squaring that Venus-Sun conjunction degree. The black moon by January the 7th is here dead on the 4th house cusp. So this in itself shows, expect these 4 months from January into May. This will be extremely explosive, extremely, everything comes out of the closets, all the cracks break open, nothing will be hidden anymore. It will be chaotic, it will be transformative, with Pluto here at the 10th house cusp, still mostly in the 9th here, which is beautiful, which shows that yes, there is the ability to transform this and to bring it into a higher vision and into a more integrated focal point. And yes, in the 3rd house, it will be very what's the word here really? It will be emotionally charged and super intense. The moon here you see, but just short after full, it is here between Pallas and the black moon. It's always that same theme here in all these charts presently. They all say basically the same thing. It's all happening in the sense of being spilled into the open and has to be digested, and we have to come to terms with all kinds of things. And this is not just collectively, but naturally also personally in our own lives. It's a big time of cleanup, of recognition of patterns, and because it's all happening simultaneously on all these many levels. With that beautiful 1st degree Gemini rising, it's one of the most powerful axes here in the zodiac. The 1st degrees of Gemini and Sagittarius, they form a channel in the human design, which is the channel of power, of the ability to directly manifest from your sacral, to give something form which is emerging from your guts, and it's kind of bypassing the rational mind in a way almost. So this is a very raw natural force of creation which we see in this axis. So the next chart I have here is then in February the 6th, another really powerful moment. Actually the whole first week of February are one of a kind. Seems everything is coming kind of to a head anywhere between the 5th and the 10th of February. This just as a first kind of hint on that. I will get deeper into the complexity of these charts. This is kind of the maybe the most telling fractal. It is a square heliocentrically between Earth and Uranus. This is actually the geocentric chart. I guess I have the heliocentric here. Should it be below where you see it? Yes, here it is. Earth and Uranus, and here in the center would be the Sun, in this case, in the heliocentric. So at the same time there is an exact Mars-Jupiter square, Mars-Chiron square, and then the Pluto Pallas opposition. There's so much going on in this chart. It's too much to put it all here in one nutshell. I will get deeper into that soon, just because it again shows that 29th, 30th degree fits into this recreation theme, harmonizing, amalgamating, bringing us all closer together. And naturally this is to be expected quite a bumpy road. There's no easy way out of this highly convoluted situation we are in, but we are on the best possible timeline. That's I get all these indications from different sources, and the charts are saying the same thing. These are intense energies, and we are getting away maybe with a black eye, but it is kind of there's great help on that unmanifest plane of pure energies, and that's what we're really reading here in the astrological charts. Is the holographic blueprint of which is encoded in time and space. So I'm just lining up here a few charts for you. I won't go too deep into them. This will come at its own time. At this moment I really just want to show you how they all join hands, fit in together. Here very particular chariclo, most exact at the 4th house cusp in this Helio-Uranus Earth square. Earth-Uranus, I mean, as an idea what this basic energy means, it's kind of the sparking a new intention, or you could also say lighting the fuse. It is opening the circuit, pulling the lever, so the energy which is there potentially will finally be able to float into the system to push it into a higher frequency band. That's kind of that momentary interaction in the middle of the in the center of the fixed signs, particularly strong. Actually, it is already, heliocentrically at least, it is already in the Piscean dwad between 1730 and 20. That is the dwad of Pisces. That's again the fractal principle. Every sign is included in each sign. 2.5 degrees are the intervals: Leo, 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 Virgo, Leo, Libra, and so on and so forth. Excuse me. But Chariklo is the midwife, the one who's holding hands and just standing by in case there's any need for help or support. And that's what we, again, humans, are expressing. I mean, all these characters basically are just showing energies which we then are bringing to life in this three-dimensional universe. We are channeling these energies. We are the ones who are doing these jobs, naturally being guided, and all these ideas just come into our minds, as our minds are mere receivers of frequencies. And if we attune our system to the highest frequency possible, then we only receive high frequency thoughts, ideas, visions. So that's why, whatever you call it, working on yourself is so important, to raise your frequency so you're receptive in a higher bandwidth of what this reality entails. And I mean, everything is contained in this universe. It's an abundance of all and everything, and it is really where you tune in, what you choose to make your experience, that's what you have. I mean, it's like you have 100 TV channels and you choose the one which is the one which then becomes your reality. That's how simple as it is. It's really our choice, even though this sometimes seems to be difficult to understand. Anyway, we all sometimes have to learn the hard way, and that's what many people are realizing. So the next one I have lined up here for you is then Chiron's station in July 2023, and this one is a super important moment. Chiron is the healer, the one who has started really digging up, helping us to dig up all the bring out the closet, the skeletons out of the closet, all that stuff, bringing the deeper issues to the surface. It's the insight that we can't just treat symptoms. That all is very chironic, that we have to go to the root cause of everything. And this will be then the time when this energy turns back inward, reflective. Actually, we're just a few days away from Chiron turning forward, and we will get to that in one of my next follow-ups. So this is already at the culmination now of a cycle which is just about to be started on December 23rd. That's the end point of it. I just wanted to include it to give it a bit of a wider perspective, a greater outlook, which then will be the phase when we integrate what is coming into the field of vision over the next 8 months, I guess. Yes, between December 23rd into July 23rd is exactly 8 months. So whatever will be spilled in the open, that is then when we are brought into the next phase of integration, of assembling all the pieces, and with this Mars Black Moon conjunction to the minute, pretty special. This is really piercing the shadow, and this is then the time when we have to, when there's no way around putting everything into its place anymore, when everything is getting totally 100% obvious. So there is definitely, as I mentioned in the beginning here, there is this extreme push on one side of trying to take our last freedoms just short before we are able to stand up and speak up for ourselves, just to kind of catch us at that very last minute before we are fully in our power. So, but we already are. We just have to be inventive and find the loopholes, as I said, circumvent their their agendas. And I mean, I'm very lucky here where I live. I live in Alberta, Canada. And we have now a prime minister who openly is speaking out the truth. And she's probably one of the few who have the authority to stand up. And actually the prairie provinces, Manitoba and Saskatchewan, are pretty much on the same on the same plate and the same what do you call it? You get it. It's not, sometimes I'm missing words. On the same line. Anyway, so this all comes to a culmination by July on forward, and you see this is the heliocentric chart of that same moment. And the heliocentric always is super revealing, as it shows the energetic structure behind it all. So this grand trine of Mars here, 001 in Libra, cardinal, shows that yes, we are managing to integrate our collective willpower, focus, male dominion, leadership, holding the ground, drawing the line. This is all Mars trine Pluto and Earth here in conjunction. Earth as seen from the Sun in Aquarius, the first degree. Pluto back in the 29th. I mean, this is heliocentric, so in heliocentric perspective, Pluto is not yet entering Aquarius. This is just a side note, even though geocentrically it will be having its first step in the beginning months of 2023, as you probably all know. So, but Pluto's in Capricorn, then Ceres rising here together with Haumea and Elatus. Elatus, the one which is having that energy of standing at the crossroads, of recalibrating, redefining what to do next. An energy which can improvise, which can take sudden turns and changes in plans. Together with Haumea, there's an enormous that scorpionic power. It can't be underestimated, particularly in the first degree. There's kind of a push into the depth of the unknown, which is unheard of any other degree. That first degree Scorpio is saying, let's get right into it, in the middle of it. And then naturally you have Jupiter here opposing. Yes, this is a powerful configuration, that big trine, and then also here with Sedna. The long-standing trine heliocentrically between Pluto and Sedna, this has been building up for years now. It's still not exact in the heliocentric, even though it has been exact geocentrically for quite a few times already, but this is coming in and out of exactness. This is one of the key themes of our times. It is the transformation of the deep, of the hidden, of all that which is dark, difficult, foreign, alien. But there's also a side to Sedna and her higher expressions of being in tune with nature, of allowing the natural laws to unfold. Sedna is ruling the deep sea, the goddess of the sea creatures, and all of that was, which is least explored. Deep oceans, as we know, is much less explored than outer space. So there's lots and lots of mysteries there which are to be transformed, unveiled, brought to light, and this is naturally going on already for quite some time, and it's going on in a harmonic fashion, basically. Yeah, so this is a super powerful chart showing kind of where we're heading, just as a little teaser of what's to come this coming year. And then I want to finish this presentation with where Venus kind of restarts a new cycle. So we are in this present unfolding of Venus performing as an evening star, giving us all that beautiful energy of communion and togetherness, shared adventures and experiences, the harmoniously interacting with one another, giving each other beautiful things, love and abundance and whatnot. It's all in there, and this energy will be renewed and entering a whole new cycle in August at the 21st degree of Leo, in a most exact square here in the heliocentric. Again, it shows itself very clearly. This is Earth. Venus, you have to imagine, is in between, and the Sun is here in a perfect square to Uranus. This is electrifying. This is, you feel it kind of the hair standing up. It's every cell is dancing. This is a beautiful energy, very musical, but it can be wild too, particularly as it's a square aspect. But that's kind of the bottom of the following 584 days. That would be 584. That would bring us into the year 2025, most certainly. So this is kind of the bridgehead into the new Earth. What we're right now in, probably till about mid-2023, is the catching up the tail ends, all the loose threads, bringing them to a clear integration and tying things together in a correct way. That's all what is happening over the next few months. It will be reorganizing, reshuffling, recalibrating, and then in 2023, by August, we are ready to go one level deeper and make it even more real. It is a organic process. This is again the geocentric chart, just to go once more back to this one, also with the nodal axis. And again, naturally, that's my theme here, that's 28th, 29th degree, 30th of Libra, and cardinal in general. So anyway, it's super exciting. Also here, Juno here up high, you see opposing Pluto. Juno, the one which stands for partnership and teamwork, mutual support, together with the moon in the 9th house. It's based on idealism, from that spiritual perspective of together we are strong, together we are able to make this. One hand helps the other. On that note, maybe I want to share this little story. It just comes to mind. It is that we are here to share and to help one another. Each of the beings around us truly are reflections of ourselves. We do not own any of it, not even our bodies, not even our minds. They're all eventually dissolving. All that we truly are is that energy which observes, which experiences it all, and on that level there's no difference between what I see in my most closest proximity, which is my body, my voice, my mind, my feelings, and what is a bit further away, which is other beings. It's all one in the end. These are all reflections. That's kind of the energy of Juno. To understand this, that if in that serving one another, we truly serve ourselves. This is kind of the key theme of this coming cycle. It will be glorious, it will be beautiful, it will be beyond our wildest conception of the wonderful world. We will be turning this really difficult and very place at this point in many ways, which has been pushed to those places. It can be remedied and shifted quite easily and fast once we all work on that same level of helping one another. This chart seems to be an indication that's exactly the direction we're moving into. Thank you for listening, and see you soon.